Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to take a magnifying glass to a dynamic that literally dictates the lives of so many people, yet it operates entirely in the shadows. We're talking about emotional blackmail. We're going to directly challenge how you might perceive toxic relationship dynamics right now and shine a huge spotlight on behaviors that pretend to be affection, but are actually, well, something far more destructive. So, let me start by asking you something directly. Are you sacrificing your dreams, your friends, maybe even your own self-respect for what you believe is love? So often we confuse manipulative behavior with genuine care. We tell ourselves, oh, they just care too much, or they're just super emotional, but deep down they have a good heart. But here's the reality. If you are suffocating inside, constantly walking on eggshells because you're terrified of breaking the relationship, that's not love. That is a terrifying mental prison. And the warden? It's the person you care about the most. Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. 1. The illusion. 2. The sufferer. 3. The punisher. 4. The tempter. 5. The armor. And finally, number 6, a reality check. Let's just jump right in. Section 1. The illusion loves mental prison. We absolutely need to shatter this illusion right away. These controlling demands, they are not a sign of intense love. Emotional blackmail isn't usually some dramatic, loud explosion like you see in movies. It's more like a psychological, slow poison. And honestly, the scariest part, it's administered by the people closest to you, your partner, your parents, or maybe your best friends. A lot of times, you don't even realize you're taking it. But day by day, it slowly destroys your independence, it chips away at your confidence, and it literally annihilates your peace of mind. Skipping over the warning signs of this behavior is essentially choosing to drink that slow poison voluntarily, just because you think it's the price of keeping someone in your life. Manipulators actually pull this off using what psychologists call the FOG psychology. Fear, obligation, and guilt. FOG. They expertly cloud your judgment using these 3 core emotions. Just imagine you're in the middle of a disagreement. First, fear kicks in, right? You're suddenly terrified the relationship is going to end or that they'll retaliate. Then comes obligation. They twist the narrative so much that you're made to feel entirely responsible for their happiness and well-being. And finally, guilt. The exact moment you try to assert your own needs, you're immediately crushed by this profound sense of guilt, feeling like you're being incredibly selfish. This psychological FOG just rolls in, totally disorients you, and essentially forces absolute compliance. Section 2. Type 1. The sufferer. Let's look at how this builds in the real world. The sufferer plays the permanent victim to completely weaponize your empathy. Look at their signature phrase, I do so much for you. If you leave me, I'll die. Or maybe it sounds more like, I have absolutely no happiness in my life except you. They blame all their misery on fate, the world, or directly on you. I mean, talk about crocodile tears, right? They use this manufactured sorrow to trap you in the relationship, making you feel like a terrible person if you don't instantly rush into their rescue.
And the devastating effect this has on your daily life really can't be overstated. This kind of behavior turns you from an equal partner into a totally exhausted, isolated caretaker. So for example, let's say you just want to go out and reconnect with some friends for one evening. The sufferer won't directly say no. Instead, they'll let out a heavy sigh and say, well, what will I do here all alone? I feel so lonely and sad when you go. Instantly, that heavy guilt from the fog kicks in, and what happens? You cave. You cancel your plans. Over time, you become isolated from your friends, constantly sacrificing your own joy to try and fix a misery that honestly cannot be fixed. You're not a partner anymore, you're just an emotional crutch, bearing the full weight of someone else's emotional state.
Section 3. Type 2. The punisher. Now, with this second archetype, the tears completely dry up, and the illusion of love rapidly transforms into strict, terrifying discipline. The punisher doesn't hide behind sadness. No. They rule through direct threats. If you do this, our relationship is over. Or, if you don't listen to me, you'll see how bad I can be. They prey entirely on your fear of conflict and that deep-seated fear of abandonment. Their goal isn't to get your sympathy, not at all. It's to evoke sheer panic. They want to make your life so miserable that you feel like you have absolutely no choice but to surrender just to make the threat go away.
The punisher actually uses a dual approach here. On one side, we have direct aggression. Yelling, throwing things, hurling harsh insults. It's loud, chaotic intimidation designed to shock you into submission. But on the flip side is something that's often way worse, passive aggression. Think the terrifying silent treatment, or suddenly withholding physical and emotional affection.
They will literally stop talking to you, sometimes for days on end, completely freezing you out, and you are just left squirming in the quiet, totally desperate to figure out what went wrong. The environment becomes so heavy, so suffocating, that eventually you break. You apologize and surrender your self-respect just to keep the peace. But listen, a relationship where you have to constantly sacrifice your dignity for peace isn't a relationship. It's a jail cell.
Section 4. Type 3. The Tempter.
This one is arguably the most deceptive archetype of all. They don't use fear or tears. Instead, they trap you in a golden cage of false promises. I'll treat you like a queen if you just accept this one habit, or I'll give up my toxic behaviors as soon as we get married. The tempter uses a conditional carrot-on-a-stick strategy, and it brilliantly targets your brain's reward system. They promise you these incredible things: money, an amazing future, the perfect relationship, unconditional love, but only if you fulfill their strict conditions and tolerate their current toxic behavior.
The absolute crucial thing to understand about the tempter is that this is all a mirage. It's a mirage of future rewards used entirely to justify present-day toxicity. You might move in with them or marry them, thinking, oh, they'll change their bad habits exactly like they promised, only to find out those habits just get worse. It is actually just a business deal, and spoiler alert, in this deal, the blackmailer always wins. That promised payoff, it never, ever arrives. The exact moment you meet one condition, they simply invent another one, moving the goalposts further away and leaving you chasing a mirage forever.
Section 5. The Armor. Breaking Free.
Okay, so how do we actually stop this cycle? It's time to shift gears from identifying the problem to delivering the solution. Here is a concrete, 5-step psychological toolkit to definitively break the cycle. Step 1. Recognize the game. Give it a name. When they start acting up, tell yourself quietly, okay, they're playing the sufferer card right now. Just acknowledging that it's a tactic immediately strips away its emotional power over you. Step 2. Don't react. Respond. Blackmailers feed on your emotional reactions, the tears, the anger, the sudden panic, so starve them of it. Stay completely calm, take your time, and simply say, I don't want to talk about this right now, let me think. Step 3. Set boundaries. Firmly and calmly defend your space. Tell the punisher, look, if you continue to yell at me or give me the silent treatment, I am ending this conversation and leaving the room. Step 4. Know your triggers. Which buttons do they push? Is it your guilt? Is it your deep fear of being alone? Identify your weak spots and work on healing them so they literally have nothing left to press. And step 5, guys, this is the absolute most important one. Be prepared to leave. You have to mentally accept that the relationship might actually end. The second the blackmailer realizes that the threat of losing you no longer controls you, they lose their biggest weapon. Remember, you are not a zoo ring master whose job is to tame a wild animal. If the cage gets too dangerous, stepping out is the only smart move.
Section 6. Reality Check. Love versus Power.
Let's summarize the core takeaway of this entire explainer with one ultimate truth. True love is unconditional. It provides freedom, it provides security, and it actively helps you grow. True love doesn't take things away from you. It gives you the space to become a better version of yourself. Emotional blackmail, on the exact other hand, is purely conditional. It's a power game demanding constant, exhausting sacrifices. It clips your wings simply to exert control. The person blackmailing you in the name of love, they don't actually love you. They love the power they have over you. You really must remember that you are never, ever responsible for someone else's happiness at the cost of your own mental peace. As we bring this explainer to a close, I want to leave you with a provocative question to reflect deeply on your own relationship dynamics. Think about it. Which of these 3 blackmailers, the sufferer, the punisher, or the tempter, do you think is the most dangerous? And most importantly, in your own life, where exactly do you draw the line between genuine love and emotional blackmail? Recognize your worth, protect your boundaries, and remember for sure, the right person will help you fly, not cut your wings. Keep learning, stay focused, and I'll catch you in the next one.